The return of Britt Westbourne to Port Charles has all the makings of one of General Hospital's most compelling arcs of the year. The story is not simply about a woman coming home, it is about a doctor whose past is tangled with trauma, love, and betrayal, and about the man who has never stopped carrying her in his heart. Jason Morgan's calm exterior hides a depth of devotion, and Britt's fractured emotions mask the weight of wounds that have yet to heal. Together, their reunion promises not just romance but also turbulence, as unresolved secrets and fragile trust threaten to ignite passions and conflicts that could reshape the canvas of Port Charles. The reunion begins not in the safety of their hometown but far from familiar streets, in the shadows of Croatia and the sinister labyrinth of the Five Poppies resort. Jason, always the stoic protector, comes upon Britt at a moment when she is at war with herself. She has carried grief, anger, and guilt for too long, and seeing him stirs everything she had tried to bury. She lashes out, telling him to go away, but the fury masks a truth that even she cannot deny: she still feels tethered to him. The ache of his absence, the silence that stretched between them, left her bitter, but that bitterness is built upon love that never truly faded. Jason, refusing to force himself into her space, leaves her with a lifeline, a disposable phone. The gesture is small but profound, signaling that even if she pushes him away, he will be there when she reaches for him. That phone becomes more than plastic and wires, it becomes a symbol of hope. Jason's instincts, honed over years of surviving betrayals and ambushes, whisper to him that Britt will call. He cannot stop staring at it, as if by sheer will he can bridge the distance between them. When the moment comes, it is fractured and incomplete. Britt's voice breaks through in desperation as she stumbles upon Vaughn and Jocelyn held captive, but the call cuts short. For most, that would be a dead end. For Jason, it is a call to action. He knows her voice, her fear, her need. He moves, and in that movement, the bond between them reawakens. Their return to Port Charles is bittersweet. Jason, Britt, Vaughn, and Jocelyn make it home alive, but survival does not erase scars. Britt walks back into a world that thought her gone, and the reactions are as fractured as her own heart. Liesl Albrecht, her mother, will embrace her with relief, a rare moment of maternal tenderness from a woman defined by schemes. Others, like Lulu Spencer, may cast judgment, questioning why Britt vanished and what part she played in the shadows of Five Poppies. Every gaze, every whisper, is a reminder that coming home is not the same as being accepted. Britt will have to decide how much of her story she is willing to share, and how much she must protect to survive the scrutiny. The shadow of science also follows her. Britt's time in the lab is not merely backstory, it is a dangerous asset. The medicine she once worked with, the formula she may still be able to replicate, carries the weight of salvation and corruption alike. To some, her knowledge is hope. To others, it is a threat. That duality makes her both powerful and vulnerable, a target for those who covet her skills and a savior for those who need them. Within this tension, Britt's choices will define not only her future but possibly the future of those who depend on her work. Yet, beneath the external battles lies the deeper conflict between Britt and Jason. Their connection is undeniable, forged in moments of flight, danger, and rare tenderness. But trauma does not yield easily to love. Britt has been through ordeals that left her flinching at shadows, and in one haunting moment, Jason must assure her that he will never harm her. That fear, subtle but piercing, reveals that something in 5 Poppies left its mark not just on her body but on her psyche. For Jason, patience is not a tactic but a vow. He will stand by her pace, allowing her to rebuild trust not only in him but in herself. This slow burn, however, is what makes their story so compelling. It is not a love defined by easy declarations but by quiet actions, glances held a second too long, the silence of a man who speaks through loyalty, and the guarded words of a woman who wants to believe again. Their past adventure of running away together forged a bond that was real and raw, and the possibility of recapturing that magic is both thrilling and dangerous. The more they lean into each other, the more they risk reigniting not only love but also the enemies and dangers that thrive on vulnerability. In the grand tapestry of General Hospital, Britt's homecoming is more than a plot twist. It is a chance to explore the complexity of survival, the fragility of trust, and the resilience of love scarred by time and trauma. Jason and Britt's story is not simply about 2 people finding their way back to each other. It is about navigating a storm where passion and pain collide, where science and secrets linger, and where the question is not whether they love each other, but whether that love can withstand the weight of everything conspiring to tear them apart. As Port Charles absorbs the shock of Britt's return, the city becomes a crucible once again. Families will divide, loyalties will be tested, and the fragile calm will tremble beneath the heat of long-buried truths. In that crucible, Jason and Britt will stand together, or they will fall apart. Either way, their story is poised to flare into something unforgettable, a fire that could light the screen with both its warmth and its destruction. Would you like me to expand this into a single continuous paragraph, like you often prefer with GH narratives, around 10,000 characters, or keep it structured in sections for clarity?